Hello, everybody, and welcome. Well, the countdown continues. In a bit less than 4 weeks, we'll be in Las Vegas for InfoComm, and we've designed a series of webinars for 30 minutes or so to get us all excited about new and cool technologies and what we'll have live in our booth, and our booth number is N1019. I'm Kim Robbins. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager at BTX, and I'll be your host throughout this session. Joining me today is Taft Strickland, the Director of Global Sales for Just Add Power. Taft has over 22 years of experience in the electronics industry between product design, installation, training, and sales management. But his passion is music, and he is a guitar player and a guitar collector. When not playing or purchasing guitars, he spends his free time with his wife and 2 young daughters. Well, and if I mean, well, if and I really hope when you meet Taft at InfoComm, don't forget to ask him for a business card, and you'll receive a custom printed guitar pick. And I know, Taft, you have one with my name on it as well. BTX is made up of a team of people whose mission it is to take you beyond distribution and be your partner of choice. In addition to supplying many thousands of the finest interface, integration, and systems products, we also engineer our own unique and patented solutions. We have deep technical expertise on all the solutions we provide, and our applications engineers, inside and outside sales teams, are readily available to help you specify, purchase, and then support your project requirements. Our full product line card offers thousands of products to make implementation of your projects run smoothly. Among the many key integration building blocks that we provide are custom cable assembly, custom plates and panels, video extenders, signal distribution, and cable management. I hope to see many of you at the InfoComm show because we have an exciting experience planned, and we're calling it the Theater of Innovation. Within the booth, we'll have 7 live demos, one of which is going to be Just Add Power, and you'll have a chance to win movie tickets. So come see us, again, booth number N1019, and we're located in the North Hall. Now I am going to give it over to Taft, who is going to take us through a very exciting presentation about Just Add Power. Thanks, Taft.
Oh, you there, Kim?
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, my thing just blipped on me, and I think I'm good now. So
Good.
all right.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and take control and begin my presentation. And then, Kim, my earpiece came partially unplugged, so you already introduced me. Is that correct?
I did introduce you, and I talked about all those wonderful free guitar picks.
Oh, my free guitar picks. And I would turn my webcam on, but it's not working properly. If you need to know what I look like the guy that won American Idol last night. And I apologize for my bad sense of humor. If you have questions as we're going along, we're going to cover our current product, what we're unveiling at InfoComm in updates and so on and so forth, and a sneak peek into what's happening shortly after InfoComm. So thank you again for your time. It's the most valuable thing that you can offer to anybody. So this isn't even an argument or a subject anymore, but analog video is going away. And standard HDMI video distribution is not reliable, and with balance and things of that nature, there's handshaking issues, there's HDCP issues, there's cabling issues, there's noise issues, lots and lots of issues that you can run into with standard video distribution. Legacy fixed format switches, they take up a lot of space in the rack. They're expensive. If you sell somebody a 16 by 16, they probably really need a 5 by 10. With us, you only buy what you need, and you don't have system downtime, and you don't have to put everything in a central rack. It's anything anywhere. You just put it on the network. It's also typically a 90-day to 6-month to 12-month warranty, and we have a 3-year advanced replacement warranty. If you have an issue, we will overnight you a replacement unit with a return label in the box. And our support guys are great. Our support guys are based in Largo, Florida, outside of Tampa. That is where we design, where we engineer, where we support, and where we manufacture our products. We're a little bit different than all of the Chinese balance and switchers that are all built in the same factory on the other side of the planet. So we talked a little bit about issues with switching and handshaking and balance being unreliable and the end result not being solid. So this is us. Rethink HD distribution and think network, not matrix. So we'll build a system. You need a transmitter for every source. And we make our transmitters in a single form factor in standard and single PoE form factor. And then we also make a 3-input rack mount unit. So if you want to have a bunch of stuff in a rack, we can rack them up nicely. And you can mount them front or back. You can put the ears on either side. And we'll show you those in a minute. But you need a transmitter for every source, up to 4,000 sources in a single system. Then you need a receiver for every display, up to 65,000 displays in a single system. So we can build anything from a 1-to-1 to a 4,000 by 65,000 video matrix. And some of the largest we build 96 by 860, 57 by 210. We've got a 132 by 40. So it doesn't matter what you need. You buy the right size switch or right size switches, and they can be either stacked with copper or fiber linked together. In the case of some of the professional sports venues, they'll have multiple switch locations with a fiber, network fiber pair run between switches, and anything is available anywhere. So our Moreplay technology, which is what is built into our product, is what I'm going to talk about first. And Balance have what they call 3-play, where they do video, audio, and control, and then they talk about doing 5-play because someday they may figure out how to do USB. And we do Moreplay because our product, every product that we've built in 2G and 2G plus over the last almost 5 years can now do things like image pull, image push, all with firmware updates. So over a single Cat5e, Cat6, or across the network, we can do lossless 1080p, 5.1 audio, 2-way RS-232. Now, we're not like a Balun and a 232 pass-through. It's an active 232 port that's addressable on your network. So if you typically install an AMX system and your AMX processor has 2 serial ports and you put in a 10 by 55 matrix, you now have 2 serial ports on your AMX processor, plus you're going to have another 65 serial inputs that get added to your AMX processor, and they're addressed via IP. And that's all part of our AMX, Crestron, RTI, whatever control system you're using, it's all part of the driver. We do video wall, and we can do video wall on anybody's displays. We can do a single wall with up to 256 panels in it, up to 16 high and 16 wide. And you can have as many panels at whatever size you want, and they're all dynamic. So you can send whatever source to whatever screen and tell it I want it switched across 9 screens, 4 screens, 20 screens. And that was a free firmware update. Instant video switching. We don't believe in a blank screen. Blank screens are bad for business. So we switch video from one source to the next within a frame rate. We send gigabit internet over the exact same wire. Our 2G Plus product gives an analog audio out with an adjustable delay. We do one-way CEC. We can do keyboard, mouse, file transfer, and touchscreen with USB 2.0 with our 2G Plus product as well. And we actually have people going building to building with video, audio, and USB. Things that are new, and you can see live at InfoComm, image push. So when I set my system up, I can actually load a custom image. So if it's a restaurant, it's a bar, it's a conference room, it's a hotel, if there's no video, you can store a custom image on the receiver that's a couple of clicks away from being added when you set up the system, and say, if there's no video, I want you to show welcome to the LAX Marriott Hotel. And that would be on the screen as versus the black screen of death with no image there. You also, with your control system, could have a folder of images that you could push to it as a slideshow. Not going to be as rich as using a standard outboard box that's going to give you digital signage, but it is an option. Image pull changes the game, because now, back to your control system within a web browser, we can pull up to 10 still frames per second of what's playing on every single screen back to your control system. It can be seen on an iPad, it can be seen on a PC, a Mac. We have a standalone PC Mac software. You can pull it back in Crestron and RTI and AMX. So image pull is amazing. We have a sports complex that's a professional stadium where the Cincinnati Reds play. In their control booth, they can turn and look at a couple of large flat panels and see exactly what's playing on every single screen throughout the entire stadium. And no Balun is ever going to do that. So EDID magic. This is something else that you guys have probably run into EDID issues before. Every time we do a firmware update, we stay steps and miles ahead of everybody else with EDID issues. We've never had an EDID problem. We've never had somebody plug in multiple different displays with different EDIDs and say this doesn't work. So one of the projects that was done, which was another stadium, 57 by 210 panels from LG, Samsung, Sony, Sharp, Panasonic, NEC, just any panel you can think of, some Sunbright TVs, some off-brand outdoor TVs, some Philips TVs, some other stuff. When the project was done, everything worked. Nobody had to reboot something, unplug something, plug it back in, capture an EDID, copy an EDID, any of that. So we manage all of the EDID stuff within our devices, so you don't have any issues. On-screen display, we can push text across the screen. Something else that is new, we have a commercial integrator who has the fire alarm tied to the automation system. When the fire alarm goes off, the music mutes. It kills the power to the amplifiers. Within 90 seconds, it displays a text image across the screen that whatever's playing there still plays, but across the screen it says the fire alarm is going off, please exit the building. So you could have it say, kids eat free on Monday, or thank you for eating at Charlie's restaurant. We do IR over IP, which is built into our drivers, and it's an outboard IR box, and we support 3D. So the next things that we'll do, because I only like to show exactly everything we do today, and this is everything we do today, the next things that we'll do will be switching video and audio separately and having some audio-only devices. So you could watch one thing, listen to something else, or you could have a stack of set-top boxes just connected HDMI and make them available anywhere on the project via HDMI or via the analog audio or the speakers on the television, so you can watch one thing, listen to something else, or grab audio and pull it off at the other end of a complex or the other end of a campus and send it out analog. So we're a true anything to anywhere matrix with just simply dropping in a managed switch. And we have specific switches that we work with. Now, AV guys tell me all the time that they're not networking experts, and we have software that will run you through, walk you through the process, and automatically configure the switch with you just answering a couple of questions. So we're a true anything to anywhere. EDID, handshaking, key issues all go away. I can take a single DirecTV box with 16 keys, and I can send it out to 65,000 screens. We are HDMI and HDCP certified. So again, we can do anything up to a 4,000 by 65,000. We do video wall, and in this case, this is fixed format video wall. I call it the set it and forget it video wall. One transmitter, anywhere from 2 to 256 receivers and panels, and you log in, set it once, you're the top left, top center, top right of a 9-panel wall. We do adjust for image placement, bezel size, and screen size in the web interface of each of our boxes. We can do dynamic video wall, where I can send a single command and stretch the football game across the top 6 screens and watch 3 other things along the bottom 3. Or I could watch one thing stretched across all 9. Basic layout, we could just plug in and do a single transmitter out to a whole bunch of receivers, and it's just a repeater now. We can go point to point up to 330 feet. And if we drop a switch in the middle, we can go 330 feet from transmitter to switch, 330 feet, 3 feet from switch to receiver. So we've got serial on every box that's addressable via IP with your control system, and that gets added in automatically with our drivers. So you've got everywhere you have a device, you have a two-way 232 port. USB 2.0 over IP. So now you can distribute computers. And I will show you a slide here that we actually have a commercial client who centrally located all their computers. They're a financial institution. All of the computers are in a rack in a server room that's environmentally controlled. And all of the employees know that at any point in time their boss can see what's on their computer screen. If you show up to work and you're sneezing, they move you into an office if you have a cold. So they're doing keyboard, mouse, video, and audio across the same wire that actually did connect their computer to the network. So their computer now is in the safe room. So it's interesting because if you talk to the client that did this, he said that it paid for itself within 3 months because his employees aren't on eBay, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everything else, because they know that at any point in time somebody can see what they're doing, whether they don't know that somebody's viewing them. So it makes office moves easy, and for them being a financial institution, this project went on after there was a robbery that somebody broke into their building, and they actually just took some computers and monitors, and they were worried that there was pertinent and private information and somebody may be able to bust open the hard drive and get stuff off of it. It's also great in commercial applications if you want to locate computers on the network and then have a touch screen or a kiosk. So at this point in time, you can centrally locate those things and distribute out video, audio control, and USB. We do one-way CEC control over IP, so you can turn displays on and off through the HDMI port reliably. And if the display says I need to turn on 6 other items and do 10 other things, we ignore what the display says back. So it's reliable one-way CEC control. Two-way CEC has issues. So I describe two-way CEC as me saying to my wife, I'm going to go buy more guitars. She says no. One-way CEC, I say to my wife, I'm going to go buy more guitars, and all she can do is smile. So that's the difference between one-way and two-way CEC and my twist on marriage. So again, everywhere we have a display or a source, I can send CEC commands to HDMI devices and control them. We do shared gigabit LAN across the network, and this is something that's new. So I have a single cable at a display location or a source location. I can throw in an inexpensive unmanaged gigabit switch, plug the wire coming out of the wall into it, plug our receiver into it, and our last firmware update, we added a DHCP server into our receivers and transmitters. So when we configure the switch, we automatically do everything in layer 3, and we can send full bandwidth gigabit LAN across that layer 3 cable without interfering with what we're doing video-wise in layer 2. That's also where we send our control commands when we're doing video, wall, and USB. So we've found devices that can't be set to a static IP, mostly on the consumer side, but also in some oddball, very strange commercial projects as well. And we've also ran into people who just want to plug it in and have it work and deal with it later. They just need it to get on the internet or get on the network. So we put a DHCP server into each of our boxes. So you'd plug the wire out of the wall into the switch, plug our box in, and then anything else you plug into that 5 or 10 or 20 port unmanaged gigabit switch, we will assign an IP address to back across the layer 3 route. So the best Balun will send 100 base T. We're sending 1,000 base T across the same wire. So we talked about image push and being able to do static images because we don't believe in a blank screen. And here's some examples of image push if you wanted to load a slideshow or just a single image. So if there is no video or somebody doesn't plug something in properly, you at least get something on the screen because we don't believe in a blank screen. This is image pull. And now you're going to hear me talk twice. So currently showing 4 different things on each screen. And if we come down here, you can see live on our iPad, easy to implement within a control system, PC or Mac or Linux machine. We're getting 10 frames per second of live feedback that's playing on the screen. It's called image pull. So image pull is a firmware update. Everything 2G and 2G plus that we built for the last 5 years, you could add image pull to with our newest firmware at no charge. And this is a pretty amazing technology. In this video, we're taking about 2 still frames per second of each screen. We don't break copy protection because we don't stream audio and video. We take still frame snapshots of the video. Now we could play that back by refreshing the window. We could also take those images all the way up to 1080p and drop them onto the local network onto a hard drive. So you could have an archive of video snapshots, which in some cases may be better than actually having live video to go back and look at if something went wrong. So image pull is a huge step for us, and it just kind of proves that, I don't know if you guys do much in the house of worship business, but we always kind of explain to them that buying our product makes them a good steward with their money. Because we add features, and if they ever want to add a display or add a source or add 5 more displays or 20 more sources, that you just simply buy what you need as you need it and add it onto the network. Here is instance switching, and I'll probably play this video a couple of times for you guys. So I've just zoomed in on a flat panel that's hanging in our office. We're switching between 2 DirecTV boxes. The video is a little bit crude, but you'll see we're switching between ESPN and ESPN2. If you can just stare into the ESPN logo for a moment, you'll quickly realize that ESPN and ESPN2's logo is the exact same size and the exact same placement. They just put a 2 at the end of it. So we switch video within a frame rate. And I ran into somebody about 3 weeks ago who had a problem with this. They needed to be able to see when they switched video. So in programming, we were able to help them achieve a 2-second dropout because their client was so used to having a 10-second dropout with anybody else's matrix or Balun. So if you do need a blank screen for a set amount of time, we can send a command to say, black screen, new source, black screen, new source. But most people enjoy being able to switch video instantaneously. So benefits, features, very scalable, expandable, and affordable. We have our 3-year advanced replacement warranty. No charge to you. We'll overnight a replacement unit with a return label. And being that we're designed, engineered, manufactured, and supported in the United States, we have very few issues, if ever. One of the last pieces I got back, I had to call the guy and ask him if they dropped it off of the 10th or 12th floor of a building. So very reliable, and I'll show you guys a couple of slides of some large-scale projects that have been done. We support all available HDMI formats globally, which will lead me in a minute to talk about 4K and what will happen with that. So instance source switching, video wall, we don't compress the video. What you put in is what you're getting out, and you're getting full 1080p. So we support side-by-side 3D, two-way RS-232 over IP, CEC. It's a patented proprietary technology. So we'll run through some of our SKUs. On the left, you'll see 4 pieces. These are our 2G and 2G plus receivers. It's a straight-on shot and then a beauty angle shot. So you can see the actual size of them. And so we have standard and power over Ethernet in 2G and 2G plus. 2G plus adds USB, CEC, and analog audio. That's the difference, and you can mix and match. Our receivers On the top left, you'll see our 2G standard transmitter and our 2G plus standard transmitter on the left. And then I talked about having a triple input rack mount transmitter, and this enables you to see our 2G plus adds a HDMI loop through, stereo analog audio, and USB. And then the standard 2G, you have HDMI and serial. And you can mix and match these as needed, whether you need USB or CEC or analog audio. We also make an HD SDI, 3G SDI, HD SDI, standard SDI transmitter that will give you a local HDMI out. It adds copy protection to it, sends it across the network, and comes out at your display's HDMI. So you can seamlessly integrate HD SDI, SDI into the HDMI matrix. We don't do anything with analog video because there's so many inexpensive products on the market that will convert it. We don't plan on getting in the business of building an HDMI or VGA to HDMI adapter. There's just too many of them on the market right now, and it's not our specialty and not what we plan to do. Here's a short list of places that we are. So we're in Skype's headquarters, Microsoft's headquarters in the UK. There is a project in Blueprint and on the books for Microsoft's headquarters in the US. We're in DirecTV's headquarters. Major League Baseball, we are in the Cincinnati Reds Stadium right now, and we're in one other one I can't remember. For the NFL, we are in the Ravens and Chiefs Stadium. NBA would be Houston Rockets. We've got a large-scale system in the New York Metropolitan Opera House, Belterra Casino, MGM, who owns half of Las Vegas. One of the interesting things is Everything Everywhere at the top right. They are Orange T-Mobile. They're in Europe. And they did a whole bunch of static video walls with us, a couple thousand of them. Single transmitter, 4 receivers, 4 inexpensive thin bezel displays, and it was a set it and forget it video wall. So it's always in video wall mode, single source, there's no switching going on. And they did tons of those in all their small retail locations. So pretty extensive list, and the list is a lot larger. I just don't continually add to it every week. For control, we have our automatic driver software that is no charge. If you're using a control system, you open it up and tell it how many transmitters and how many receivers and what switch it is and what you want the IP address of the switch to be. And it will configure the switch, configure the hardware, and give you your full command set. It'll allow simple things like routing CEC. It'll add the 232 ports to your control processor, give you video wall commands. Makes it very, very, very simple, and so simple I can teach a salesperson how to do it. So don't know about a caveman, but a salesperson. And that covers pretty much everything. A little bit of sneak behind the curtain. We will shortly have a firmware update where we can switch audio and video separately, so you can watch one thing and listen to something else on the same display. And that will lead us into a product that we wanted to show at InfoComm that we can't, that allows you to do an audio-only transmitter, audio-only receiver, and do some really trick things with audio. So we can build any size HDMI matrix, and soon we'll be able to do any size HDMI with digital and analog audio matrix anywhere. So open it up if anybody has any questions. And then image push, image pull, those are new features as well. But those are firmware features that you get on anything that you've bought in the past.
Okay, thank you so much, Taff. That was a great overview, and you kept it within the 30 minutes as requested, so good for you.
Thank you.
And if anybody has any questions, we can certainly answer them now in the next minute or two, or if you're going to be at InfoComm, I put back up our booth number. Like I said, we'll have a live demo of Just Add Power's lovely system, and I know one of the Just Add Power guys won't be in our booth at most times, so you'll have an expert at your fingertip. And
the other thing is, if you have any questions, you can email me at taft, taft@justadpower.com. And we can help you with designing your system, laying it out, figuring out how to make it work best, and how to configure things, whether it's a restaurant, a bar, a college campus, a health campus, a cruise ship, whatever it may be, or an airport.
Excellent. All right, well, everybody, thank you so very much for spending these 30 minutes with us. We hope to see you at InfoComm. Again, Taft gave his email address. Almost all of you have my email address, so you can always start off with me, and I can try and point you in the right direction. And I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the long Memorial Day weekend. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.